Alright, here I am at it again, and some of you may be asking, where's your guitar? We'll get to that in a little bit. It's been a long time since I've had a high noon shootout, so why not pit Tonelib GFX, my favorite guitar effects processing software for Linux, up against Tonelib's newest entry, and this is called Tonelib Metal. I have it open on the screen here, and I figured it would be kind of difficult for me to do a side-by-side comparison of Metal and GFX as the standalone applications, because I can do these same things from within Reaper. So I have that opened up, and we're going to get to that shortly. First, I want to give you a quick rundown of the user interface that they're providing with Tonelib Metal, and then we can move forward with the comparison from within Reaper. Alright, the first thing I noticed when I downloaded the software, it asked me to go into preferences and set up my set up my audio, and of course I'm using Jack for this. Alright, and this pretty much has the same setup as Tonelib GFX, but the one thing I'd notice is there is no online button up here on the upper left. So pretty much if you this does have some really killer rock tones, as you will hear in this, but they don't have any online repositories, or at least not in the trial version anyway. Okay, and something else I'd like to point out here is you have the rhythm player with all the grooves, and these are identical to the ones that you get with Tonelib GFX. So the backing track player, your idea recorder, and your loop station, all of this is identical to what I've already shown in Tonelib GFX. Something else to note, that this software is specifically for people who want to really rock out. If you're looking for something that's versatile enough to do some clean tones and that sort of thing, Tonelib GFX is really going to shine in that arena, where this is for those of you who want to make some music that is going to literally make the paint peel off the wall and have your neighbors writhing in pain. Okay? Now, this has some interesting effects that it brings to the table. Let me go ahead and pull up a preset. Now, I have the audio disconnected from this for the time being, because we're going to be playing that audio through Reaper, but I want you to see the user interface setup that they have here. And let me go ahead and collapse this the rhythm player section here, so that we can take a closer look at the user interface. It appears that Tonelib is trying to have an appearance of a lot of your major VST plugins that are out there nowadays, such as the Contact Player and the Native Instruments, the Amplitubes, and all the other major players out there in the Windows and Mac world. They're trying to put something together that can compete with them. While this does look pretty, at smaller screen resolutions, I can see maybe some people might have an issue with how this is set up. And I'll show the comparison again when we get to Reaper. You have several different amps that are not in Tonelib GFX. I think the JC Clean is in Tonelib GFX, but the 5152, the Comet, the Pantera, and the 14 Cali are amps indigenous to this software. Also, they have their own little stomp pedals. The splitters in Tonelib GFX. There's also a noise reducer, but you're going to see here that when we look at these, instead of having a panel with all the controls, you're having a graphical user interface with this. And as stated, while it is pretty, I personally prefer the look of the Tonelib GFX setup panels. especially useful if you're using a computer or a little notebook with a small screen resolution. And some of you may be saying, well, why would you use a netbook or something like that? Well, this software is that low latency that you actually could use an old laptop computer you have lying around with Linux and Jack, and you could actually convert that into a effects processing unit with this software. It's that low latency and it's that good, because I can tell you I have an old Celeron laptop that I was using for a short while that would actually power this software. So I mean, it's really amazing what you can do with this. All right, so you have a number of effects, but it's not as comprehensive of a catalog as you will find with Tonelib GFX. Yes, there are some EQs and some distortion pedals and that sort of thing, but Tonelib GFX really shines in terms of the content that's readily available. In addition, you have the online resources where you can get all kinds of new effects and sounds, where you're kind of limited with this, at least in the trial version. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay, so you've got the different amps, and you only have one IR cabinet, where Tonelib GFX has several of them, but it does have a pretty interface, and it does have a number of cabinets you can choose from to get some different sounds. But let me let you in on a little secret. Tonelib GFX just got an update. I just got the update to it last night, as a matter of fact, and it already has all of this and much more, which makes it even more impressive. So, but this is a nice little niche in its own right. Okay, and then of course you pretty much have some delays and reverbs, but not the complete catalog of effects like flangers, phasers, fuzz, and that sort of thing. But then again, you're not going to be doing a bunch of clean stuff. You're pretty much going to be doing gnashing of teeth, hard, grindy rock music with this particular piece of software. Luckily, though, it is low enough latency that you could actually maybe combine this in your DAW and get that hard tone, and then just make a clean channel that has your chorus and all this other stuff by stacking on Tonelib GFX after this in an effects chain in Reaper. Alright, here I am in Reaper, and this particular layout that you're seeing on the screen here is something that I use for testing VST plugins before I regularly use them in Reaper. And so I have Tonelib GFX set up on a channel here, and I have loaded both Metal and Tonelib GFX into this so that I can make a side-by-side comparison of these. And so let's go ahead and float both of these windows here so that I can show them to you. And hopefully things won't get too messy for us here. All right. Now, one thing that you're going to notice here is that when an effect is chosen in the metal side of things here, right, it looks like an actual pedal. Okay, we've got our noise gate here, and then in a Tonelib, I have a flanger here, and you can see all of the knobs here, and I kind of like this layout better. I can understand the need for aesthetics on this, because some of your major players out there, like the Native Instruments plugins, also the Contact Player, and Amplitude, and other options that are out there in the Windows ecosystem, their plugins look a lot like this. But personally, I think this one is a little bit more intuitive, especially for those of you people who are using your legacy hardware for powering this software. I've run this on a dual core Celeron running Arch Linux. And it was able, if you have jack powered properly, this will actually power your guitar effects processing on legacy equipment. Of course, those computers having a lower screen resolution, this may be harder to read than something like this. Just something to keep in mind there. Also, in the effects area here, you've got 5 different categories. Okay, you've got your splitters, noise reducers, distortion pedals, and that sort of thing. Right here, you have a few amp heads, 1 IR cabinet, but if we select this, and we can do that from here, okay, you're going to see that you have a similar layout. If I go into my effects here, and let's go ahead and show you the difference here when I go into GFX, and we go into cabinets, all right, this is their Guitar IR Cab HD. We have it here as well. It's a different graphic, but I can assure you it's the same thing, only that it has a lot more options. If I hit the pancake menu in Tonelib Metal, these are all the options you have, whereas if you choose the model here, all right, you're going to see you've got tons of them in GFX to choose from. Okay, this also gives you the option of choosing which mic you want. You've got 4 mics to choose from, and this gives you the same 4 mics as well. Okay, you can choose where the mic is positioned. This gives you the same option. Okay, you can also choose the mic distance, same options, of course, and then of course your low, high, mix, and level, which is available here. Okay, some may find this to be more intuitive than this. I'm interested in knowing you guys' opinion. Do you think the Tonelib Metal looks better this way, or does it look better in GFX with this style of user interface? Let me get your feedback on that, because I'm going to post this video on their forums to show this comparison, and I would be interested in, and who knows, maybe they might see this video or other people making these comparisons, and maybe that might influence their decision in a future release. All right, let's also look at some of their, you can see that they have some reverbs, but not a whole lot in terms of modulation. They have a delay here, but if we go into the drop-in, you can see there's a lot more options. They've got like 4 categories here, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and well, you can see we've got a plethora of sounds that you can get out of this. And based on my observations of Tonelib Metal versus GFX, you can achieve all the sounds that Metal can do in GFX very easily, and I mean, now you may not have those sounds available to you as the default presets, but you can, let's discard changes here, but you can log in to your Tonelib account and you can download plugins to your heart's content on here. Well, not plugins, but presets. And I've got to say, one of the users, their name is K-Taxi, and they have some impressive presets. I actually downloaded a few of them and tweaked them myself, whereas Tonelib Metal doesn't give you that option, at least not in the demo. But the thing is, in trying the demo, I have to say I'm not quite ready to pony up for it. But I am going to go ahead and pick up my instrument here and play through some of the sounds so you can get an idea of what they sound like. And you can decide for yourself that this is something that you would want to use. Let's enable a Tonelib metal here, and you can hear it's got some noise to it. Let's minimize this here. And the first thing I'm going to have to do with this one is I'm going to have to reduce some noise here. Maybe hit the hard button and raise this up a little bit, because while I do enjoy noisy metal, I don't enjoy noise with my metal. All right, here we go. Obviously, I can't play copyrighted music, otherwise I might get a strike on my channel. So everything I'm going to do here is just totally improvised, and yeah, it's battery junk. All right, let's pick another sound here. That's a pretty neat sound, but let's see what else we got. This one is based on the 5150 amp, and of course we're going to have to knock some of that noise out too. Maybe something similar to Eddie Van Halen's sound. And then, of course, you have the Rat pedal. And they have something similar to that in Tonelib GFX as well. And let's see what we get here. Not bad. Okay. And actually, before recording this, I went through all of these presets. They all kind of have a similar sound to them. I wish they had a little bit more variety, but they are just bass sounds to give you something to work off of and build on. As you can see, if I go into Tonelib GFX here, the original presets that I have in mine, I pretty much got rid of all of them, and I just have all of my favorites loaded in here for regular playing. And these are my signature sounds that I use all the time for playing. And my requirements aren't that many, although I have seen some people on the Tonelib forums who kind of wish that they had more slots for presets. I don't think I would ever need, I've only got like 12 of them here, and I can't see myself needing more of them, but, then again, I don't have those hefty requirements. Let's go ahead and minimize this again. And let's, sour as stone. Let's hear how sour this one sounds. Chilling crunch. Alright, so they got some good sounds in here, but I would find myself tweaking each and every one of them. Let's see if we can get some clean tonage out of this thing. So let's replace this with the JC Clean, which is in Tonelib GFX. And that's not too bad. But we can reactivate the rat here. Maybe get a sound similar to what Ted Nugent had in the late 70s, early 80s. So you have some options there, but personally, let me go ahead here and deactivate this one. And then turn on my Tonelib GFX and enjoy some nice layered sounds. For instance, this is one of my presets that I made called Ethereal Tempest. And with this, I've got an overdriven orange crush and the JC clean that we just saw working together. So, I mean, Tonelib GFX is way more versatile. Um, you know, I know in a lot of the different metal genres, sometimes a song, especially, in the 80s and 90s, you had a number of songs that started off really clean and had a nice ambient, you had some nice ambient effects, and then all of a sudden, the drummer busts the bass drum, and then they come out with the metal onslaught, and go from different tones and that sort of thing. And that is especially something you would really want in a metal plugin. And the Tonelib Metal really does not give you those options for the clean sounds with all of the modulation, the many different effects that really makes GFX shine. So, is Tonelib worth it for the money? It's on sale right now. I'd say possibly, but I still think it's worth it to spend the extra $10 and get the GFX plugin, because you're going to be able to have a lot more options available to you musically. But if you're just looking for something to beat on your guitar with and do some really hardcore death metal or whatever kind of metal you want to play, Tonelib Metal is looking promising, but I personally think it needs a little bit more time to mature. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. In my next video, I'm going to do a demonstration of installing Lin VST, the latest version on Arch Linux, and I'm going to show you how to run some Windows VSTs in your favorite DAW. In my case, I'm going to show it in Reaper, but you can also run those plugins in different digital audio workstations as well. As always, a little bit of love goes a very long way, so please be sure to take some of your time and be excellent with somebody today. Until next time, my friends, peace out.